In 1800s New York City, one man committed acts so shocking that crowds purchased tickets to witness them. This individual sold admission to public autopsies of enslaved individuals, constructed human zoos, and displayed people in cages as entertainment. Yet he accumulated wealth equivalent to over $200 million in today's currency. This was P.T. Barnum, and he grasped something revolutionary. Curiosity converts to cash. He understood that if you could generate shock, awe, disgust, or wonder, you could market anything. Behind his controversial tactics existed undeniable marketing brilliance that created the blueprint for modern attention economics. But how did a small-town grocery proprietor transform into history's greatest showman? The answer resides in a moment when he nearly lost everything: the lottery collapse. At 25, Barnum operated a profitable lottery enterprise in Connecticut. Then suddenly, lotteries became illegal, obliterating his livelihood overnight. Desperate to recover, he launched a grocery store, hardly thrilling for someone with his grand ambitions. That's when fate arrived through his door. An acquaintance named Coley Bartram offered him something bizarre: exhibition rights to a 161-year-old woman named Joyce Heth, supposedly George Washington's former nursemaid, who had rocked the first president to sleep as an infant. Most people would have dismissed it as obvious nonsense, but Barnum saw dollar signs. He didn't care whether the story was authentic. He cared whether it would sell. He scraped together $1,000 and purchased the exhibition rights. Within months, thousands paid 25 cents each to hear her stories about dear little George. Whether they believed it or not, they wanted to participate in the spectacle. This overwhelming response confirmed something crucial to Barnum. He could blur the boundary between truth and illusion. He could transform the ordinary into an unforgettable spectacle with clever words and grand promises. People called it Barnumizing, and he proudly wore the title Prince of Humbugs. The philosophy of deception. Contrary to popular belief, Barnum never actually called his audience suckers. What he said was far more insightful. People like to be humbugged, and he wasn't wrong. People don't just fall for deception. They often enjoy it, even crave it. They want to believe in magic, in impossibilities, in stories that transport them beyond their mundane daily lives. Think about today's world. Crypto scams promising instant wealth, fake business gurus selling dream lifestyles, and too good to be true investments that prey on hope and greed. That's modern-day humbug. Barnum was essentially the original influencer, understanding that when you mix hope with greed and spectacle, people will willingly suspend their skepticism. But where did this manipulative genius originate? Barnum's story didn't start with wealth or privilege. Born in July 1810 inches small-town Connecticut, his family lived simply and worked hard. But Barnum had fire in him. He wanted wealth and fame beyond anything his surroundings offered. His biggest influence was his grandfather, Phineas Tyler Sr., a notorious prankster who believed life was too short to be boring. While other men farmed or traded, Grandfather Tyler spent his time pulling elaborate pranks. Young Barnum absorbed these lessons, understanding that people craved the unexpected, the amusing, and the amazing. If you could provide those moments consistently, they would return with their friends and money. Tragedy struck early when his father died, leaving one 5-year-old Barnum to support his mother and 5 siblings. He ran a general store and tried the food industry, but his real moneymaker was different: a private lottery business. He flooded Connecticut with newspaper ads and marketing materials, discovering that the more people he reached, the more money he made. By age 20, he had lottery offices in 5 cities, generating up to $2,000 daily. His secret? Brilliant marketing that didn't just inform but captivated audiences. But success made enemies. Religious groups condemned lotteries as sinful, newspapers refused his ads, and government stepped in. When Connecticut banned lotteries in 1834, his empire crumbled overnight. This setback led him back to Joyce Heth and his first taste of entertainment empire building, the American Museum. By 1841, Barnum wasn't satisfied with just running shows. He wanted to build an entertainment empire. He set his sights on Scudder's American Museum in New York City, a dusty relic filled with stuffed animals and forgotten trinkets that nobody visited. Barnum devised a brilliant scheme. He advertised a free rooftop concert, but instead of hiring skilled musicians, he deliberately chose the worst performers possible. The music was so awful that people fled downstairs into his museum for refuge. Once inside, visitors were bombarded with spectacle after spectacle. exotic animals, live performances, a miniature Niagara Falls, and the infamous Fiji Mermaid, hyped as history's greatest discovery, but actually a monkey's torso sewn to a fish's tail. By the time people realized the deception, Barnum already had their money. Not everything was fake, though. Among genuine attractions were Chang and Eng, famous conjoined twins, and his greatest investment, a man he marketed as General Tom Thumb. Charles Stratton, standing just 25 inches tall, captivated crowds worldwide with his charm and performances. Over the years, Barnum sold 20 million tickets to see Tom Thumb, who performed for President Lincoln and Queen Victoria. They toured England, France, Germany, and Belgium to packed theaters and royal courts. In every city, thousands lined the streets just to catch a glimpse of the famous performer. The tour was such a massive success that it established the template for modern celebrity tours and international entertainment marketing, the Jenny Lind phenomenon. By the 1,850 seconds, Barnum had achieved the impossible, rising from a struggling entrepreneur to one of America's wealthiest men. But he knew attention was fleeting. He needed something fresh to stay relevant. While touring England with General Tom Thumb, Barnum discovered Swedish opera singer Jenny Lind, adored across Europe for her voice and generosity. Remarkably, Barnum never heard her sing. He didn't need to. He understood that talent wasn't enough. The story mattered. He offered her a North American tour with an outrageous fortune she couldn't refuse. When Jenny Lind arrived in New York on September 1st, 1,850, thousands gathered to see the Swedish Nightingale. Barnum had hyped her to superstar status before anyone in America heard her sing. He plastered her name everywhere, and when reviews weren't rolling in fast enough, he paid journalists to write them. Her tour shattered box office records, making opera mainstream in America. After 9 months, he'd earned what equals $21 million today. The Jenny Lind phenomenon revealed Barnum's true genius. He understood that creating a celebrity wasn't just about talent, but about crafting an irresistible narrative. He sold tickets not just to hear singing, but to witness history in the making. People didn't just attend concerts. They participated in a cultural event that made them feel sophisticated and special. Political ambitions and bankruptcy. Having conquered entertainment, Barnum wanted a legacy beyond the spotlight. He became mayor of Bridgeport, Connecticut, bringing new industries and boosting the local economy. He created systems where working-class families could buy homes with low interest rates and long-term payments, which he called profitable philanthropy. But his grand vision for East Bridgeport required serious money. By 1855, the man who built an entertainment empire faced bankruptcy, owing $500,000 to creditors. Rather than disappearing in shame, he fought back. By 1860, Barnum pulled off a stunning comeback, reclaiming his American Museum. The relaunch generated $400,000 in the first year alone, the exact amount he'd been in debt. He'd done the impossible again, but nothing compared to what came next. In 1870, 2 circus men proposed a traveling extravaganza unlike anything ever seen. Barnum was hooked. This was his chance to bring his museum's magic on an unprecedented scale, reaching audiences across the entire American continent. He handpicked the most astonishing acts from around the world: death-defying acrobats, exotic animals, mysterious performers, and spectacles that defied belief. He promised this show would make all others seem insignificant by comparison. Soon that ambitious promise had a name that would echo through history: the greatest show on earth. Final days in philosophy. In 1880, Barnum penned The Art of Money Getting, sharing his wealth-building philosophy. He famously said, "Money is in some respects life's fire, an excellent servant but a terrible master. Like fire, money could warm you and help build something amazing if handled carefully, but burn everything if you lost control." His advice from 150 years ago feels surprisingly modern and relevant. Live within your means, invest wisely, and take smart, calculated risks. It's essentially the same guidance you'll find in any business blog or financial advisor's recommendations today. As death approached at age 81, Barnum remained a showman until his final breath. He requested to read his own obituary while still alive, and a sympathetic New York newspaper obliged, publishing it early so he could enjoy his final reviews. 2 weeks later, with characteristic obsession for his business, he asked one final question: how are the box office receipts? Then the curtain fell, but the legend lived on. The dark legacy, However, his success came with a deeply troubling dark side that cannot be ignored or minimized. Joyce Heth was actually an enslaved woman from Kentucky whom he exploited repeatedly, reinventing her story whenever profits demanded it. After her death, he staged her autopsy as a public spectacle. He constructed human zoos where he displayed people as exotic curiosities, including 2 children he claimed were Aztec savages. He caged William Henry Johnson, calling him Zip the Pinhead, and presenting him as a missing link between Africans and orangutans. His treatment of animals was equally brutal. Elephants were trained with hot pokers, and he confined beluga whales in basement tanks where they died within days. His empire was built partly on racism, exploitation of vulnerable individuals, and the systematic dehumanization of those society deemed different. These weren't occasional lapses in judgment. They were fundamental business strategies that generated significant profits through human suffering. Modern parallels. When exploring Barnum's story, we see brilliant business strategies alongside moral failures. He revolutionized entertainment, launching stars like Tom Thumb and Jenny Lind into international fame, creating templates for modern celebrity marketing we still follow today. But his legacy carries deep stains of controversy and inhuman behavior. His exploitation of vulnerable people and creation of racist spectacles revealed a ruthless willingness to sacrifice human dignity for profit. Today's digital world, filled with viral hypes, cryptocurrency scams, and manipulative social media campaigns, reflects the same psychological principles Barnum pioneered. Modern influencers, promising impossible wealth and elaborate schemes that blur truth and fiction, trace their DNA back to his attention economics. Barnum's life teaches us that attention truly is the ultimate currency, but how we use that power defines our legacy and determines our impact on the world. He demonstrated both the extraordinary potential and dangerous perils of turning curiosity into cash, serving as both inspiration and a stark warning for anyone seeking to capture public attention in our interconnected modern age. So what do we take from P.T. Barnum's story? His life proves that genius and cruelty can exist in the same person. Every viral marketing campaign, every manufactured controversy, and every influencer selling impossible dreams traces back to principles he perfected 150 years ago. But his legacy also reminds us that success built on suffering leaves stains no amount of wealth can wash away. The people he caged, the bodies he displayed, and the dignity he stripped for profit aren't footnotes. They reveal what happens when we chase attention without accountability. In our world of endless scroll and viral stunts, Barnum's playbook is everywhere. The question is, will we repeat his brilliance or his brutality? If this story made you think differently about fame and the attention economy, hit that like button and subscribe. Drop a comment. Was Barnum a visionary or a villain? Or can someone be both? Thanks for watching. Remember, in the attention economy, the real question isn't whether you can capture eyes, it's whether you can live with how you captured them.